this game? Lamar's been back a couple weeks now, and it seems to look like typical Lamar up there when you watch the film from their last couple of games.
I think he's been sitting in the pocket a little bit more, and whether that's because he wants to show off the arm or they're saying that he's still recovering. We got to take advantage of it either way. So got to be able to rush and keep him where we want him, and be able to take the ball away.
Tim Schwartz said yesterday that at this point of the season, there's no real secrets. He's shown what you have on tape, and especially in a division game, you guys know each other super well. So how do you balance, knowing that they know what you're going to do, you know what they're going to do, but also trying to change outcomes and be a little bit different on the field?
I mean, you do get to see what people are coming in with, especially with their mentalities, what their identity is, throughout the year. And then it becomes more on the players, and you gotta find people's deficiencies through film, this far into the season. But players gotta go out there and execute. They gotta be who they are, and that's when guys just step up and you get performances from guys you just don't expect them from, because they're either focusing on this facet of the game or this person, this player, and that's when other guys step up.
Well, now that team goals are way more important to you now than anything. But you're in a situation right now where you actually have a clear shot, perhaps, at the NFL single-season sack total, which is something that you set as a goal when you were very, very young. So just wondering, is that something that is kind of in the back of your mind right now as you move forward, and then maybe also NFL Defensive Player of the Year, you're firmly back in that conversation as well?
I mean, the main thing is winning. However many I can get on the way to getting a win, that's more or less in the record. Doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I would trade all the ones I had back against the Patriots to have a win. Now, I don't want to say that to be ungrateful, because I was blessed to get that many. But it's not that deep to me. I want to go out there and have a good game. I feel like that's what I can do. That's what they brought me here for, and I feel like that's a way in which we can win. Me going in and taking over. So if all things come to fruition and some of my personal goals happen, that's great. But I want to go and continue to play after January. That's the biggest goal.
Myles Lamar was talking yesterday. He said they have to throw as many hands and objects at you to prevent you, to keep you away from him. Just how have they over the years tried to block you? Maybe unique ways they specifically have tried to take you away.
I mean, chipping from every position, whether it's Pat, it's Andrews, it's Likely. I mean, if it's from inside and outside, from the backfield. Sometimes it's Derek, sometimes it's Mitchell. So I mean, they've got all kinds of different looks, and you got to kind of take the run game into account as well. You got to always be a bit on edge, not to get too geared to play the pass, because at the end of the day, you go a bit too far upfield, and D. Henry's coming downhill, going north-south, and that's just a bad day for everybody. So, I mean, all that to take into account with the most dynamic quarterback we've ever seen. It's just it's tough.
Has there been an extra emphasis on accountability this week from the coaching staff and the leaders of this team, being how you guys lost last game?
I mean, there's many different moments of accountability throughout the year. I don't think that Cam lost us the game. No, that's a moment to grow from, and something that we work on. And when you get in there, in the moment, there's pressure that comes with it, and I just think that was just him trying to make a play, and we're not mad at him for it. We just hope that we can educate him and try to get a better outcome next time. So there's always a emphasis on the fundamentals and the accountability here.
Mark Andrews told the Baltimore writers that you're one of, if not the best athlete of all time on defense, and if not the best defensive end of all time. So I know you hear people compliment you all the time, but what does it mean to hear that kind of praise from, a big-time player that you see twice a year?
Big time player. I mean, I've seen him make a whole bunch of plays against us, and he'll go down as one of the very greats himself. So I mean, it means a lot. I have a lot of respect for him and how he plays the game. I mean, it's just been a battle for as long as I can remember against those guys and him as well. So it's an honor to hear that, and it won't stop me from running through his chest on Sunday. But I do appreciate those comments, and I have a hell of a amount of respect for him.
Myles, the final score from week 2 really wasn't indicative of how that game really was played. Just kind of got away from you guys in the fourth quarter. You've had a couple of games this year like that, where it's a one-score game, fourth quarter, and then it just falls apart there at the end for you. Just what have you learned from those experiences as a team? And I guess how do you get those games across the finish line when you're right there in the fourth quarter?
I mean, that's when fundamentals and accountability comes to a head. You need to be at your best when the lights are the brightest. So those last 15 minutes, there can't be any lax in concentration or focus. We have to be able to rely on each other and know that we're going to be in the right spot and doing the right thing. And we just got to believe in the call and execute as we know we can. We've done all week, and I don't think there's any problem with any call. At the end of the day, you got to make the call right, regardless of what it is. And you go back and you learn from it, and they'll be the first one to tell you if they wanted that call back or anything like that. But regardless of what it is, we can make a play.
Myles, after the game, you said that you were going to kind of set the tone and show the guys in this room there's no quit, and everybody has to man up and understand that you still have everything to play for. How did that sort of manifest itself during the week? Did you do anything, or is it just an everyday thing in the meeting room and on the practice field? How are you setting that tone?
It's an everyday thing. Continue to have that standard. There's no checking out. There's no looking for somewhere to hide or surrendering. We still have a great opportunity to push ourselves in the playoffs if we do what we need to. You win out. There's a great possibility with how things have gone in the division that we could still be in this race, but you have to believe it. So just making sure the guys know and understand that, and putting in that same work that with that same effort that we have from the very beginning of the year, you expect the guys to respond.
I was kind of going back to Cam. Jim talked yesterday about the disappointing part about the penalty was it overshadowed what he thought of you. Cam was having a really good game against the Jets. Just can you speak as a teammate and guy in that room of how he's grown and developed over the course of this season into a guy who has been making plays and regularly in games for you guys?
I've always been complimentary of Cam, especially person to person. Knowing that he's one of those guys. I would compare him to like Karlaftis, always being in the right spot, always doing the right thing. Rushing well, playing the run, just doing everything at a satisfactory level. He's not absolutely elite at anything, but he's really solid at everything he does. He studies the game. He knows where he's supposed to be and what he's supposed to do, and just being there and being someone you can count and depend on. And so I've always been proud of his development. Him asking for advice and help. Just the other day, him asking about a specific move on how I do it and what situation, what's the timing. Like he has a thirst for more and wanting to improve, and those kind of guys I want to be around and make that kind of contagious, that kind of attitude for the game.
Myles, you talked about the different looks that Baltimore's thrown at you over the years and all these teams, but is there any looks that surprise you at this point? I know early in the season the Packers had like 3 guys just all kind of stand there and wait for you, but is there anything at this point that you've seen or that teams have tried that kind of leaves you a little surprised?
The Ravens threw 4 at me a couple years back. I think just threw 3 or 4 at me last game. I would say when the center comes off, like I beat the tackle on the edge, and the center will like meet me on the edge before I get to the quarterback. That's always a strange one, but you just gotta be ready for anything. I've proved that I can make plays, and they are going to dedicate a lot of attention to me, and I'm happy to take that attention if guys are winning their one-on-ones and doing what they're supposed to do. You just want to be out there and have fun and see the other guys having fun. So if I'm not doing it, I know my other guys. I can count on them.
Is there one of those double teams you dislike the most, whether it's the running back chip, the tight end chip, or the double with the guard?
Who you working for?
Undercover agent.
Keep it a secret. Knowing you're wild. Serious.
Me and JJ talked about this. I would say the one that is the worst is like the outside, definitely outside in from the tight end, but the tight end on the line would be the worst one. It just depends on how much like he gets on you, like from getting you, from keeping you from getting started. After that's the full like four-man sort. Them sliding the line to you because you either have to win the edge or you have to run through his chest and create separation so you can slip through. And then the running back chip. Running back chip, is just part of the game. You have some options there. I mean, unless it's like Henry where there's like no space to get through. You can work around it.
Would you say that you're playing better than you ever have in your career this season?
I mean, I don't even think about it like that. I feel like there's still lots of plays out there to be made. There's plays that I want back. I don't necessarily regret, but wish I would have been more prepared for or had a different plan for. But am I playing well? Absolutely. Can I be playing better? Yeah, and I want to do that.
Myles, after that loss to the Jets, like on the outside, a lot of people wanted to see like drastic changes, drastic things happening. Obviously, it's sort of been, guys have sort of circled the wagons. Can you appreciate kind of how this organization has approached this week, especially given how chaotic things might have been early in the year?
Yeah. I mean, showing that we're all in this together, and if we're gonna win, it's not gonna be by pulling pieces out of this. We'll pull ourselves together and make the most out of this. Didn't have the showing we wanted to, but it's all about execution. Like I said, no one's got the perfect call, but if we go out there and make it up in our minds that if we do what we need to, we'll win. Well, then it doesn't matter what the call is in offense, defense, or special teams. We can make it happen.